Der Goldexplorer de Grey Mining hat mit seiner Hemi-Entdeckung in der Region Pilbara für Furore gesorgt und der Kurs sich in neue Höhen aufgeschwungen, trotz aller Börsenverwerfungen. Wir sprechen heute mit de Greys Executive Chairman Simon Lill erneut über sehr positive Ergebnisse von dieser spektakulären Entdeckung. Simon, first of all, great results again today. Please tell us about them.
Yeah, thanks, Bjorn. I think you had Andy on last time and he gave you a more technical perspective of what we were finding at Hemi and what were then called Sections A and Sections B and now are Aquila and Brolga. Look, what we've effectively shown today is we've just stepped out from the first section, 80 metres on both sides. Certainly to the west, we've got some terrific results coming through. And to the east, they're still very, very good. They're not quite as substantial, but you know what? I'm not going to sniff it. I think there's one we've shown 23 metres of logged sulphides, etc. On the other side, you know, we've showed, so I'm just looking at the diagram here, you've got a couple of intersections there, 37 metres of logged sulphides, 60 metres of logged sulphides, and 55 and 16 in the other hole. So it's really just confirming we're onto a substantial system at this point.
Yeah, well, it certainly looks like Hemi's shaping up like a great discovery. Now, is that just luck, or do you think the management has something to do with that?
Look, far be it from me to claim good management, but what I will say that we do have is a very, very good geological team led by Andy Beckwith. But we have a regional geologist, Alan Neeshaw, who's been pulling apart our whole region. And when we first got onto Taurana, and Taurana is right to the west of our project, it's gone from 0 ounces to 360,000 ounces at the moment and will grow further. It was identified as an intrusion style. And we said to Alan, well, go and have a look and see if we've got any more. And 9 months ago, we had a release where we indicated that here's Taurana, but we've got identified another 7 intrusions. And in those, there were 2 that are near Taurana, Charity Well and GMAS. Both have ore-grade mineralisation in old RAB holes that we've got. And then we had 5 in this Hemi region, Scooby, Antwerp, Hemi, Shaggy and Electronus. Obviously, then we have gone into those. Out of that 5, 3 of them already had ore-grade mineralisation, 2 of them had never been touched. Every time we're drilling there now, apart from we've got getting a pretty good hit rate on the mineralisation, but we're learning more. And if you look at the diagrams, subtly some of the mineralisation is being changed in some of the intrusions where Scooby, for example, we are growing slightly because we're recognising things as a result of some of the drilling that we're doing at the moment. So, look, we were on to it 9 months ago. The geological surveys from the WA government had indicated these as potential mineralisation, and it's not an uncommon form of mineralisation down in the Yilgarn in this intrusion style. So it's not good luck. It's been well organised by the geological team. Always lucky perhaps to find the intersections that we've had, but we're not surprised that there's mineralisation there.
Okay, great, thank you. So
I should also, because I mentioned Andy and Alan Neeshaw, I don't want to leave out Phil Tornatora, who's on the ground doing the more direct geology, and he's been terrific in terms of his accuracy of where he puts the holes.
Okay, great. So we've been talking about the recent drilling, about the Hemi discovery, but de Grey also previously has advised of scoping studies, resource upgrades. How is that progressing?
Look, unfortunately, that's the wrong way to put it, but our focus has obviously been changed to quite a bit. There's a lot of excitement about the Hemi discovery, but it also comes with a lot of work. Resource upgrades will still occur. We will still be hopefully getting those out by the end of the quarter, and we're still pretty comfortable with the numbers that we've forecast. We will still be finalising a scoping study for internal consideration. The board hasn't met and discussed it, but I think my feeling is at the moment that it would confuse the issue with Hemi, so we may not make an announcement about them. I'm comfortable that the numbers are good. Part of me says I would love to have it released, because it shows that we had a good project anyway, which is what Andy and I have been saying for a long time. But I suspect probably on the scoping study, we might take a bit of a back seat for a while. It does become a bit meaningless because Hemi obviously changes the numbers very substantially. So
okay. So you'd rather wait for more knowledge, let's say, about Hemi and include that in a study at a later point.
That would be my thinking. It hasn't been discussed by the board, I must admit, but that would be my thinking at this stage.
Makes sense to me. Okay, so where to from here? What can we expect by the way of releases over the next couple of weeks, month?
Yeah, look, we have indicated there's clearly a lot of news flow. So we've been releasing logged sulfides because we see that there's some, they're significant. The sulfides are correlating very well with gold assay results. Obviously, there's a series of assay results that will follow from these logged sulfides. There's every chance we'll continue to release logged sulfides as well as we continue to track the mineralisation along the corridors, etc. We've got 3 rigs up there drilling at the moment. I can say at this time of the year, we had already budgeted for 3 rigs, so it's within our current budgeted plans anyway. We're not in any great hurry to accelerate it. We will clearly in the future. We've got a diamond rig up there at the moment. We're accessing some core, which was part of today's announcement. That will obviously look at what's happening at 300 metres, 400 metres depth in the near future. We do expect to get the mineralisation down to those depths. It is of a tenor that it should be suitable for underground, but we are thinking more that the suitable open pit will probably drive that deep with what we are seeing.
Okay. So a lot of work, a lot of news flow. But, as an explorer, life is not only always difficult, but also always costly. How is your capital at the moment?
Well, I guess suddenly we have a market capitalisation nearly $250 million. So capital becomes an easier part of the equation. But there's been a lot of chatter about us about to raise capital. We're pretty comfortable with the program at the moment. We don't need capital immediately. At some stage, we do accelerate the program. We've got a bit of infrastructure work up on site to put together before we feel comfortable accelerating the program. So we're not in any great hurry at the moment.
Okay. So what are your expectations for the future of De Grey, considering the coronavirus scare, oil price battles, let's say, the high uncertainty in the capital markets in general?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? And who am I to say? But clearly, the coronavirus, we're having to implement coronavirus policies which get to travel, and obviously the mining camps, they're potentially hotbeds of disease in one sense. We try and make sure they're not, of course. So it's obviously interesting for the gold price. How is oil going to play out? That's going to be for cleverer people than I. So it's, look, I think overall we're business as usual. But maybe our employees can't travel overseas for a little while.
Okay, thank you very much. Listen, we'll be looking forward to further news. We'll talk about that again, and we'll see how it all works out. And then we also know more about the geopolitical developments and how that affect the gold price. Certainly at the moment, gold is holding up pretty well around the 1660 in US dollars. I guess it's by 2000 something in Australian dollars. So it's a good environment for gold companies to be in, I think. And certainly if you keep checking out those great results, we're looking forward to further nice news releases.
Well, I think Bjorn, to finish up, I mean, I can say that we're not unhappy about where we're at. If we weren't having to deal with coronaviruses and oil price shocks, etc., clearly our shares would be a lot higher. But very pleased with the way they've been holding up, and there's clearly been some substantial buying coming through. The selling seems to be drying up. So if we work our way through to a better market, hopefully we should start moving forward.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for taking the time, and we'll talk again soon. Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much, Bjorn.